Oh, look who's back.
It's the boys. Back again.
No, I mean you.
T is back.
It's been like literally 9 years.
Tell your mom.
Don't tell your mom, please.
I beg you.
What's the point of destroying that wall if you... Never mind. That has nothing to do with this video.
Yeah.
Anyway. DC
Correct.
Comic Books
DC Universe.
has a new streaming app coming out soon. August, right?
I believe that is the date. They are sending out beta codes here pretty soon through emails if you sign up.
And you're getting one, right? Because you're a beta. So
disgusting.
you should be getting a code.
How dare you?
But anyway, so there's some interesting stuff on this app. There's a lot of like original stuff. It seems like they're trying to go Netflix with this, but with their own properties.
It does, yeah. Yeah, which is interesting, especially with them mixing in, I mean, between the live action and the...
That stuff looks cringe.
Could be,
I don't
potentially.
think the live action stuff is good at all.
So that'll be the series that we know that I saw that are going to be live action for sure is Titans. So that's one with Robin, and that's Dick Grayson, I believe, from what I understand.
It usually is.
And then also Swamp Thing looks to be live action as well. So that's
interesting. I'm more on board with the Harley Quinn animated series.
That one's going to be cool. Yep.
What I don't really... I guess this new DC animated universe, though, like, has been kind of poor the last... Have you noticed that? The last few entries of it?
At least with, looking at, Justice League versus Teen Titans.
That was bad.
I didn't like that.
There was also some bad in there with, like, Justice League Dark. Wasn't that amazing, from what I remember?
No.
There's just been, like, a lot of forgettable stuff since they moved a little bit away from, like, comic book adaptations.
Did you watch Gotham by Gaslight?
I didn't, because I read that it's totally different than the comic.
I haven't read the comic. It's very dark and very just, like, haunting, almost. Like, it's just a really dark film. One of the darker ones I've seen them do, honestly.
So you liked it?
I did. I liked it. I haven't seen the comic, so maybe that's part of it.
Oh, gotcha. Doesn't want to be like the only one, making these art anymore because it's like so time consuming for him to like just hand draw all this stuff. I get that, but like you could do the DCAU without just making Bruce Timm do everything.
Right.
I think you get other artists and like do other like. Have other artists do it, other writers, and just have him be like a producer, consultant, and maybe have him like animate the movies or something like that.
Yeah, like have him involved still because he's brilliant.
But don't have him do everything because it was, from what I can understand, it was very overburdening for him during the prime of the DC animated original universe.
Which makes sense, and that's where I'm. There's parts of it that I'm really... So this DC Universe idea, the streaming service, all of it, there are some things that I really like, though, with it, too.
Yeah.
Like, so that with them going, like, including comics in it. So there's going to be a bunch of comic books in there that you're able to read. Obviously, some of the biggest ones ever. Then you go to, obviously, like, the animated series is going to be on there. You're going to see all these old classic movies, live action. There's tons of really cool things that are coming in, and then the new ones.
Yeah, I'm not like, I guess I don't know what they're trying to do with like the continuity because none of this stuff is connected. I think they're like DC live actions are going to be, from what I can understand, maybe like Titans and Swamp Thing and stuff. But something that Marvel did really well, like, honestly, I feel like I'm more connected to a lot of those DC characters when they're done well. The issue is they're not a lot of times. And I think Marvel did a really good job of setting up a connected universe where, like, even if Daredevil never meets Tony Stark, they exist in the same world. And it's believable that they do, for the most part. That's not the case with DC. For some reason, they've done this, like, brand split between their television and their movie deals. And now, I don't know, are they going to split it again with, like, this? Where it's, like, this streaming service stuff is its own universe, too? Or are they going to include that in the Arrow universe?
That's what I was just going to bring up, too. Do you think... Because what I wonder is, I feel like they wouldn't do that. I feel like with the established 5 seasons, or now 6 seasons of Arrow, now going to be 7, why wouldn't they... Why are they trying to go separate if they are? If that's what they end up doing, I think that's kind of frustrating. And I think that's kind of a waste. To waste like all of that established time with Flash, with Arrow, He did the whole Legends of Tomorrow thing as well, which actually surprisingly is doing well. I don't see why they would just go completely separate. I think if they connected them, it's a ginormous brand. DC, it's basically just expanding the universe.
Right,
I feel like
which
they
they
should
already
make, like,
messed up with the movie thing.
Right, so I feel like they shouldn't make like a new Green Arrow or a new Flash or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like I feel like it should be connected in that way because it's all been established and people like the characters, they like the actors, they like what it's been like how it's been done.
And that was the draw of the DC animated universe, was that it was all connected.
Right,
I mean, it was also that the stories were good
yeah, and the writing, the character,
and
yeah.
not cringy in any way. Like nothing ever came across as like forced or cringy.
Right.
Which is more than at least I can say of like a lot of these adaptations of like the live action character portrayals, in my opinion. Like in things like, you know, later seasons of Arrow.
Yeah, later seasons of Arrow definitely.
Even
a lot of filler episodes.
even
kinda
Legends
feels
of Tomorrow is a little like over the top.
The name itself is kind of cringy for me. You know,
Yeah.
I've never watched the show, so it might be good. but-
Supergirl goes back and forth. I've watched parts of Supergirl. It's enjoyable, but like very. It's like it doesn't. None of this stuff tries to feel real. Like it's. I always get the idea in the MCU that it's believable that it's not a fiction. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you know it is, but like it doesn't feel like it when you're watching those movies, right?
Right.
But
right.
I guess I just don't know the direction that the DC universe is going, and if this, I guess what I'm getting at is if this streaming service is going to contribute to that direction or not. If it's just going to lead to further segmentation or confusion by like the audience that is trying to enjoy it, especially considering that there's like even these old like, even the old Tim Burton movies are on there. Like I saw Batman Returns is on there.
Yeah.
It's just like there's a lot of segmentation within this brand. I'm okay with it because I understand it, but I also understand why audiences wouldn't love that.
Well,
And I think it's disappointing to an extent to like go that way going forward, especially if you're bringing everything to one unified platform, but then your continuities are all over the place.
so just trying to keep up with it. Sure, it makes it convenient that it's all on one platform, but it still confuses the consumer that isn't like passionately following every single timeline. You know, if it's all connected, it
unless
makes
this
things
is
easier.
only marketed at that passionate.
Which is fair. Which yeah,
I don't know, because like, is there enough of a following there in like the I love DC and nothing else,
Right.
to the point where I would pay $15 or whatever a month to stream it?
and that's another good point. I want to know what the cost is.
Yeah, we have no idea. I don't think it's like you said like this better not be like Hulu TV. I think that'd be insanity.
That'd be nuts. If it was anywhere near over even $20 a month, I feel like that's way too high for a lot
Yeah.
of content that you can get for cheap.
And what about
or
people
that I
like
already
me
own.
who have bought some of this stuff like on Blu-ray already?
Right.
And also, did we see like is Wonder Woman on there, like the DCEU stuff, or no?
I haven't seen
Because
anything like
I
that on
didn't
there.
see
No.
any mention of that stuff.
No.
I just don't know. I don't know what they're doing. Maybe they know what they're doing, but it doesn't seem lately like they do.
No, and that's why, I mean, this has potential to be really cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I think for the right price, and if they start putting out, like, say that Titan show is amazing, and say, like, it's just really good action, great fighting, you get good stories, the actors are great, there's a lot of potential for some good stuff there. But if that flops, say Swamp Thing is bad, then you get to, like, Harley Quinn show being cringy.
I doubt that'll be cringy, but
I don't think
it could be. I
but
guess
there's potential, and I mean, if I hope Tara Strong or Arlene Sorkin is voicing Harley Quinn in that case, but
I
we'll
wanted
see.
it to be Kevin Conroy.
That'd be perfect.
He'll be Harley Quinn.
It'd fit him like a glove. That's a great call.
I mean, at least they've brought Kevin Conroy back over the years for voicing.
yeah.
Although it's also kind of weird and confusing considering that he's all these different continuities Batman.
All over, yeah, literally all of them.
I
yeah.
don't know. There's just like a lot of weird like situations around DC right now where their movie universe is going. I don't know if they fully understand it. They just greenlit the Jared Leto Joker movie. Did you see about that?
No, I didn't
The
actually.
Jared Leto solo Joker movie.
Isn't Scorsese doing a Joker movie too?
Yeah, that's a different movie.
Oh my.
Don't you want 2 Joker movies?
Oh, yeah.
I don't
You're
even
right.
want 1, but don't you want 2?
It's
Joker,
concerning.
the character that doesn't even work without Batman. Don't you want 2 of it?
Well, that'd be amazing, actually. You're right. What was I thinking? I hope it's an emotional roller coaster, is what I'm hoping for.
Ugh.
I really want to get to know. I'm concerned because, like you said before, it felt like earlier in the especially in like the late '90s, early 2000s, DC had a purpose. They had a goal. They had like a story, and it all felt like it was all going somewhere. Or that they all.
Why
like,
did they stop?
And it just doesn't seem like they know what they're doing anymore.
It just ended at some point. Like Justice League Unlimited. It just stops.
Yeah.
Like the show ends well, but I mean like their direction just ends there.
And there's a few gems in there, sure, but I mean, you get
They're mostly direct adaptations of a comic.
So I mean, even the Killing Joke
Was bad.
was bad. The first 45 minutes was horrible.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
I mean, that's my.
It wasn't good.
How do you mess that up? I guess
I
is
didn't.
my thing,
I didn't hate that. I was able to separate that beginning from the rest of the movie.
Yeah,
in
as was
my
I.
head.
As was
So
I.
I was like, okay, this is like they're trying to lead into it in this interpretation. Fine. And then though you get to the ending, which like I don't want to spoil the ending of The Killing Joke here, just in case somebody's watching this who hasn't read that.
Right.
But go read it. Don't watch it. Because in the ending, there's a very dark implied possible ending, but the interpretation is open to you. Like, oh, maybe this happened, maybe it didn't.
Right.
There's also another big thing that Joker does in there, which is implied maybe this happened, maybe it didn't. Both of those things are pretty much removed from the animated.
Yeah.
Like, remember, the thing in the middle that he does that's really messed up, possibly, to someone, is it seems less dark and less like it actually went that direction, and more like it was just a facade. Whereas, like, you would assume it was in the book, but you don't know. Maybe this interpretation of Joker actually did that.
Right. Right.
And at the end, the thing with Batman, you don't know what direction it goes either of the book. And in the movie, it's very clearly nothing happened.
Exactly.
And it's just like, not only could you not faithfully adapt this shit, like, without destroying the first 45 minutes of this movie, but also you had to destroy two of, like, the most dark and compelling things about the Alan Moore Joker that he did, and just get rid of them, you know, in a later it's dumb.
It is.
For a long time, this universe, not only the Warner Brothers DCEU, but the brand as a whole hasn't really known where it's going. I even feel the same way about the comics of DC right now. Well, I don't think it knows where it's going.
Because they're starting to do Crisis now, aren't they?
Well, they have Doomsday Clock, which Doomsday Clock does seem to have some direction. More so than DC's had in a while, but I just don't know if they'll be able to fully do what they want, especially with like bad writers on certain series. Like they went from Scott Snyder to Tom King with Batman, and he doesn't fit at all. He's trying to make it like a golden age like comic book almost again, where it's like partially silly, partially serious, and you can't take it either fully way because the tones conflict. There's just a lot of conflict within DC. I guess to wrap it up, because we've like really prattled on about this, and I get like way too invested when talking about DC. I'm interested to see where they're going. I don't really think they know where they're going, but I really want them to prove me wrong, because I love the characters. When the company's at its A game, it fucking just blows it out of the water. It's fantastic. And I want to see that again, instead of the solid 75C range of like me trying to pass classes. That's like the content DC's been putting out.
Right.
And it's like, come on, we know you're better than this. You know you can do better than this.
You have characters that are so easy to do better with, is what you're doing.
Just put some effort in. That's all I'm asking for. Just put some effort in.
Right.
And I hope we see that.
Because I will be spending money on this likely, giving it a chance, and then seeing
I
what
think
the
I would
product
give it a
is.
month.
Absolutely. Watch the series, see if I like it, and then go from there.
At the very least, if the month is $10 and Titans is cringy, I can laugh at it and say I watched the first 2 episodes.
Right. And then you're happy.
And that's good
it.
enough for me.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, let us know what you think down in the comments. Are you a huge fan of this streaming idea? Are you not? Is it something you're likely to purchase? Maybe don't fully admit to pirating films in the comments, but I know there are other ways to get these types of movies, especially the older ones. So is it worth paying for a service like this to you if you could find it elsewhere without paying that? You know, just let us know. Find it interesting. And we'll see you in the next one, guys. Peace.